మొత్తం నువ్వు ఇట్లా
So
ఇట్లనే
what we
ఉంచు.
have done, first we created a database, then we started using the database, and then we created a table. As we all know that if you are going to create a table, first you need to create a database. First, make sure create a database, then use the database, and then create a table. And while creating a table, make sure you need to provide assign column names too. Every column name you need to assign manually, and for every column you need to provide the data type. What are the data types for every column that you need to assign? You need to make sure you need to provide those. Okay? So you are providing column names, you are assigning data types, you are having columns, the table itself is been provided, and at last you are inserting the data. And then you can start updating and deleting the process. And at last you can start updating and deleting the process. And once after creating a table, we again started working with the concept called DML. If you remember, in DML we discussed about these keywords called insert, update, delete. With the help of insert, we can insert multiple rows into the table. With the help of insert, you can able to insert multiple rows into the table. And then once after inserting the data into the table, we started working with updating the data and deleting the data. So while you are going with update or delete, make sure you need to execute the Hsql syntax called Hsql save updates equals to 0. Set Hsql underscore save underscore updates equals to 0. Once if you are executing this, you can able to update the data and you can able to delete the data. If in case you want to change the age, you want to update the table name, the name, student name or anything, you want to change that ID or anything in general, you can go with the Hsql syntax update. No, I want to delete the data, I want to delete few rows into the table, then you can work with this option called delete. So these are the two things that we can able to access, update and delete. Is it there, everyone? Fine. Yeah, you can share it now, someone. I gave you the access. Okay. Provide semicolon. Fifth line. Execute. Unknown system variables equals updates. S updates. I execute right away. Okay, hope it's clear. Fine. Now let's work with DDL again. Okay. So everyone, you can open MySQL Workbench tool again. Now let's try to work with these things. What is the table that we are having yesterday? Students data, right? Now this is what the table that we are having. Student ID, student name, each. Student ID, student name, each. Now let me insert the same 5 student details into the same table. Let's just try to insert the same 5 student details into the same table. Execute it. Now again try to execute the code. So let's start from students data. Okay. So this is what you can able to access now. Are you getting all these details, guys? Whether you can able to access it or not. All 5 student details. Just try to focus on this. Again, I'm going to execute the same SQL syntax and SQL safe update SQL to 0 so that I can go to delete to no problem. Now the concept is little interesting. You can expect an interview question here. The question they might ask you like, what is the difference between a possible interview question that you can expect in an interview. A simple question that they might be asking you, what is the difference between delete, drop and truncate, and how the concept is going to work in every different thing. In delete, how it is going to work with, in drop, how it is going to work with, and in delete, how it is going to work. That's it. As simple as it. If in case you are going to work with this option called delete, you can able to delete one individual record or some set of rows in the table, or you can delete all the rows in the table. Let me call it as delete. And if in case you are going to work with this option called truncate, you can able to delete all the rows in the table, but the table structure remains same. But in drop, you are deleting the table structure in itself completely. Let me execute, let me explain it step by step. Okay, let me explain you this 3 concepts step by step. Let me again start with delete only. Let me again start with delete only. So what I'm going to do? Total, how many students are there in the table? 5 students. Now, let me execute the code. Let me execute the code. Delete. Chalo, I want to delete a record called Ashish. What is the ID for Ashish? 5. Chalo, update me the delete. Delete from students data where student ID equals to 5. Good. Select this entire code. Execute the code. Now execute. Select start from students data. Is it reflected? Whether the last record Ashish has been eliminated or not? Yes. Are you getting only the top 4 rows? Yes. Chalo, I want to delete this record called Parthu. This student detail Parthu, I just want to delete. Now, syntax. Delete from data where student ID equals to 4. Okay, already it's been provided here. Now select this, execute it. Now, what is, if you are providing select star from students data. Select this, execute this. Is it something working out here? Is it reflected? Is it deleted? Yes. How many rows are getting now? 3 rows. Chalo, this time what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to include where clause. I'm just going to delete all the rows in the table. I'm just going to delete all the rows in the table. So,
పో నీకు నీ కొడుకు బరువు బాగా అవుతుంది పో
students data where student ID. Here, chalo, I'm not interested in deleting only this record or that record. Chalo, I want to delete entire data. Okay? Better, I'll not provide where clause. If you are going to provide where clause, you are only going to delete that record which you are going to provide it within where clause. But if you are going to provide some data without where clause, what is going to happen?
Good boy.
You are going to delete entire data. So once if you are trying to execute this, select this and execute this. Now what is going to happen? Entire data itself is lost. All the rows in the table itself is being eliminated. Just execute. Automatically you can able to get the values. Is it clear? Are you getting any data here? No. Nothing itself has been provided here. Only you can able to access the columns, student ID, student name, and age. These are the three columns available in the table. Okay, these are the three columns available in the table. Now, there is no data available in this table. You can able to access only three columns. You can able to access only three columns available in the table, and within these three columns, you want to get whatever the data that you are interested in. Okay? Chalo, is there any data available? No. Chalo, I want to get the entire data back. So what I'm going to do, I'll insert this one more time. Guys, are you clear what I'm doing? You getting the point, right? What I'm doing? I just deleted the entire data, right? I just want to get that entire data back. So that again, once again, I'm inserting the data. Chalo. Select start from students data. Now, this time I'll go with truncate. This time I'll go with truncate. Syntax for truncate is truncate table name. Truncate table name. Truncate table students data. Now, this truncate is something coming from DDL or DML? DDL, data definition language. So if you are going to execute this, just check this out. What is going to happen here? Delete from students data. Okay, so truncate table name already we completed, right? Now just use this select star from students data. But I'm entire data gets deleted. That means if someone asks you in an interview what is the difference between delete and truncate, how you are going to explain it? Someone asks you in an interview what is the difference between delete and truncate, how you are going to explain to them? You can delete individual rows or you can delete entire data. If you delete individual rows, you need to provide where clause. If you are not going to provide where clause, by default, all the rows are going to be eliminated in delete. But whereas in truncate, you are not having that flexibility. You are not having that leverage with where. You are only having truncate ID. It is going to eliminate all the rows in the table. It deletes all the records. That means in delete, if you are working with delete, you are having an extra flexibility to work with delete individual rows set of rows, or you can delete all. But when you're working with truncate, it's not the case, let's say. You are going to eliminate, you are going to delete all records in the table. You are going to remove, you are going to eliminate all records in the table by default directly. There is no chance like you are deleting this record, that record. No. That means delete from table name without where clause is quite similar to truncate table name. Am I right? Delete from table name without where clause, you are deleting entire data. Truncate table name also, entire data has been eliminated. Then what is the difference? 5 rows are there. If I am using delete, all 5 rows are been eliminated. Even if I am working with truncate, all 5 rows are been eliminated. Then what is the difference? That is okay, completed. Without where. That flexibility is the first point that we are having in delete. Okay. But now what I am explaining, without where clause, delete from table name 0 rows. Truncate table name also 0 rows. Then what is the difference? Step. It's correct only. Step. See. Either you are going with truncate table name or delete from table name. You are deleting all the rows in the table, but the table structure remains same only in both the cases. But let me explain you the backend process, how it works. When you are working with delete from table name, it deletes all the records step by step in the table, row by row. When you are working with delete, first it deletes the first row, then it will go to second row, it will delete second row, it will go to third row, it will delete third row, then fourth row, then fifth row, on and on and on. Step by step it will delete. But when you are working with truncate, it is not going to check, it is not going to delete it row by row. In one time, entire data gets deleted. Because there is a chance to get the data back even if you delete it in delete. Because there it is slowly deleting every record. In the backend, transactional logs are going to be entered. So if in case in future you want to get the data back, yes, you can get the data back with the help of delete. But in truncate you can't, because in truncate you are going to eliminate entire data in the table in a single go. In one go you are going to eliminate entire data. No transactional logs, nothing. If in case you want to get the data back, you are not going to get the data back. This is the difference. Now tell me, truncate is fast or delete is fast? Truncate is fast. Delete takes some time actually in the backend. And in delete, you are having where clause, you can delete few set of rows or entire data, but in truncate, there is no something like this. So by default, entire data gets deleted in truncate. Is it clear? So if they ask you simple question, delete versus truncate, you can explain it. Delete is something coming from DML, data manipulation language. Truncate itself is something coming from DDL, data definition language. And in delete, you can go with where clause, you can delete set of rows or you can delete entire data. That's up to you. But in truncate, by default, entire data itself has been eliminated. But the common thing between delete and truncate is table structure remains same. You're just deleting data in the table. That's it. But if still they ask you, still is there any other point? Still is there any other point apart from these things? Then you can even include this point stating that truncate is faster where operation is entire. Whereas in delete, it goes row by row. In delete, transactional logs are going to be entered in the backend. So if in case you want to get the data back, you can get the data back. But in truncate, that is not possible. By default, entire data get lost. You can explain in detail. If in case they ask you again and again, you can explain those things. Clear? So here you need to remember one more thing too. So for basic question, basic answer is fine. In an interview. For basic question, basic answer is fine. But for basic question also, advanced answer, it leads to advanced question from the next question will be advanced. Am I right? Obviously. Simple question, simple answer, done. But if you provide anything extra, again, definitely they'll get tempted, right? Something I need to test. They'll add something extra. Okay? Chalo, now here I just want to add some other data. So select star from table name. Are you getting all the rows back again? Now I will explain you how drop itself is going to work. Delete is clear? Truncate is clear? So now let me explain you how drop works. Drop is something coming from DDL or DML? DDL stands for Data Definition Language. Okay, fine. Now, syntax, drop, table name. What is the table name? Students, data. Drop, table, students, data. Select this, execute it. Select this, execute it. Now, if in case you want to get the data back, select start from students data, semicolon. Select this, execute it. Okay, I dropped the table, right? Select star from students data. You're getting an error. What is this error? Table student data doesn't exist. You're getting an error that table itself is not done when you're executing select star from students data. What does it mean? Forget about data in the table itself has been deleted. That means when you're working with delete or truncate, you're just deleting the rows data inside the table. But the table structure remains same. The skeleton itself is remaining same structure. But now when you're working with drop, forget about data within the table. The data itself has been eliminated. The data itself is lost. The structure, that skeleton, whatever the table that we have, that itself has been deleted. So that is the reason when you're executing select star from students data, you're getting an error. The table itself is not there. Hope you got the difference between delete, drop, and truncate. Delete, you can delete few rows or entire rows. Truncate, entire rows. But the common thing between delete and truncate is table structure remains same. But in drop, completely the table itself has been eliminated. And this is something more dangerous command. So no. Even if you go to this Instagram or LinkedIn, memes will be there. Memes. What kind of memes? So for example, manager is having deadlines, all these things. Client is eagerly waiting when that work itself is going to be completed. So team leader is waiting. What is the output? Everything. Pressure knowingly or unknowingly drop table. What happened? Table loss. Right? So again, these permissions are again restricted with grant and revoke. And those things are something which are available in DCL, data control language. And what I explained you, these things, permissions are being utilized by this DBS, database administrators in a company. They will give you access. And they will not give you these permissions, basically. Not for you, everyone in general. Okay, so to access the privacy, the security part, DBS, database administrators, grant revoke. So, for example, a new employee is going to work joining in a company. So he or she needs to work with the database. Grant a permission. So, for example, an employee has been resigning from that organization. We just need to take back that permissions, right? Privacy, security reasons, revoke, taking back the permissions. DCL. Hope it's clear. Chalo, now just quickly work with this difference, guys. Delete, drop, and truncate everyone. Online participants, is it clear, everyone? A quick update. Right. See, Osama, once if you're selecting drop, forget about the data within the table, forget about those spirals within the table. The table structure itself has been eliminated, deleted completely. That is the reason when you're executing this code, select staff from students data, you're getting an error that the table itself is not available. Okay, guys, done, completed? Online participants, done? Right. Now, let's proceed further. Till now, you are clear with DDL create, DDL drop, DDL truncate, DML insert, DML update, DML delete. Now the remaining two options that we are left with within DDL is rename and alter. So let's try to quickly complete these two things so that we can learn new command language again. So for that, I just want to have a table again. So what I'm going to do again, we already dropped the table, right? We already dropped the table. So I'll try to create this table one more time. Create table name, and I'll insert the same data one more time. You can do the same thing too. Again, instead of typing that entire code manually, you can just create the same table, that whatever the syntax that you're having from yesterday, just execute it and insert the same data. So that when you're executing select star from table name, you can able to get those records easily again. Is it something clear? Yes. Now, let's try to work with this option called alter. So what is going to work? What is going to happen with this alter? With alter, you can able to create a new column or you can able to remove a new column. So both of these things you can do, guys. So for example, I'll explain you how things are going to work. How many columns are there in the table currently? Three. Three columns. Rows are 5 rows. Horizontals are rows, verticals are columns. So you're having 3 columns: student ID, student name, and age. And now I just want to add a new column. I just want to add a new column called course. What is a column? Course. And by default, all these 5 students are being enrolled in data analytics. Chalo shortcut name DA. All these 5 students are being enrolled in 5 rows. All these 5 students are being enrolled in a same course called DA, Data Analytics. And I'm just providing it with a shortcut name called DA. So what I'm going to do, I'll go with this option called alter. And what is this option? Alter table name, which is something coming from DDL. Alter table name. What is the table name? Students data. Now I just want to add a new column. What is my requirement? I want to add a new column for an existing table. Currently, I'm having 3 columns in the table. I just want to add a new column called 4th column in the table. So alter table students data, alter table name, add column name. So add column name. What is that column name? Course. Simple. And what is that course name, by the way? It's data analytics. So here what I'm going to provide is first data type I want to assign. DA. How many characters are there? Is that okay? I can go with char of 2. Char fixed length. As I'm already clear with all students are enrolled in data analytics itself, so I'll simply go with an option called char of 2. Okay. Now here I'm going to provide a constraint called default. And I'll explain you what this default is. We have not completed this topic, but I'll explain you in the later session. Constraints is the topic. There I'll explain it. But default is nothing but by default, you are assigning one value for that all rows in the table. Simple. If in case you are going to work with normal data points, you are inserting it. But what exactly this default is, by default, you are going to assign all the values. If you pick data analytics, that is going to be available for all the rows in the table. So default, it's DA, it's non-numeric, I'll provide within double quotes. That means in all rows of that fourth column, the course should be something data analytics, DA for all this. Select it and just execute it. Now you can able to get the output. Select star from students data. Is new column created here called course column? And by default, are you getting data analytics for all these 5 students in that course column or not? Yes. And this is what you can able to expect in the output. And this is what you can able to expect in the output. DA, data analytics. Is it something clear? Yes. And now just try to execute the code. Select star from table. That's it. If in case you want to drop any column, if in case you want to delete any column, you can do that as well. So for example, alter table students data. Now I just want to remove that column called course. I just want to remove that column called, I want to remove age column this time. I created a new column called course, right? In the same way, I want to remove a column. What is that column? Age column. So alter table name, students data. Now what is this option? To remove a column? Okay, how many of you are going with delete? Okay, is there any other extra keyword that anyone want to go with apart from delete? Think about it. Right, Sumit, Vasavi, Kiran. It's drop. We need to go with drop. Why not delete is, just now we discussed about it. Deletes only deletes the data within the table, but table is not being deleted. Here, if you are going to work with delete, only rows data within the column has been deleted, but I want to remove column itself, structure. So I need to go with drop, right? So alter table name, drop column name. What is that column name? Age. When you are adding a column, you can provide the data type. But while removing a column, no need to provide a data type. Simple, you can just provide semicolon, select this entire code, execute the code. That's it. And now when you are executing, select star from students. How many rows that you can expect now? Sorry, how many columns you can expect now? And what are those 3 columns? Student ID, student name, and course. Age will be deleted, right? And this is what the output. Age has been deleted and you are getting these 3 columns called ID, name, and course. Is it clear? Let's check this out, case. And this is what alter is. You can add a column, you can remove a column. It's nothing but you are altering the table structure. You got the difference between alter and update? While you are updating the data, you are updating the data inside the table. You are updating the data inside the table. But when you are working with alter, you are just altering the table structure itself, not the data within it. Default is nothing but by default you are going to provide the same value in the column for all the rows. That is the reason I'm providing default of DA, so that without inserting DA into this every time, I can directly get that value DA. Clear, Sumit? Right. Nulls will be provided, Manoj. You will not get any data out. Okay. Shankar, is it real? Who is Shankar? Offline or online? Shankar, you're an online student or an off? What?